Every summer for much of the 90s and early 2000s, Cartoon Network would have two bookending weekend-long events during the summertime, usually ending with the Cartoon Fridays Big Pick Weekend in August, and in the beginning, in the month of June, you had June Bugs.
I was very young for my age, but I matured quickly. I guess you'd say that show business is my life.
Celebrate the rabbit with a whole weekend of classic Bugs cartoons.
This is an outrage! June Bugs, the very idea. June Duck! June Duck! June Duck! June Duck!
June Bugs starting Friday at 8, only on Cartoon Network.
June Bugs is an annual marathon of Bugs Bunny cartoons that air on Cartoon Network and Boomerang during the month of June almost every year for a good 20 years, 1993 to 2013. The first one airing on the weekend of June 12th to the 13th of 1993 as a 25-hour marathon running from 8 p.m. on Saturday to the 12th to Sunday the 13th at 9 p.m. Then they did it again the year later on June 12th, on June 11th, 1994, pretty much the same thing, 8 o'clock on Saturday to 9 p.m. on Sunday the following day. And then they did it again in 95, they did it in 96, where you had a 24-hour marathon all day on Saturday, June 29th, starting at 6 a.m. and going all the way to Sunday, June 30th at 6 a.m., where that marathon was hosted by Uncle Paul, played by Paul Parducci, who was a man in a rabbit costume. When we get to 1997, the fifth June Bugs Marathon became a 48-hour marathon, starting on Friday night at 8 p.m. and continuing all the way to Sunday night on June 15th. And there was a number of different shorts that aired during the marathon, but the biggest one was the never-before-broadcasted short Blooper Bunny, which was originally intended for a theatrical release, but was never got the theatrical release, and it waited almost 6 years to get finally put on television, which it became a Cartoon Network exclusive for a long period of time. And then in 1998, they did the sixth one, which was over 100 Warner Brothers cartoons, including some that had never been aired on Cartoon Network before. The biggest one being the premiere airing of Cara Blanca, the 95 short, which was, of course, the parody of Casablanca. That one aired on June 19th and continued all the way to June 21st. For the 1999 edition, you also had over 100 Warner Brothers cartoons, and again, it was a 48-hour marathon, but due to there being considerably less than 48 hours worth of Bugs Bunny shorts, they actually repeated a lot of the shorts several times over the course of the 2 days that they had it on the air. And this time around, they actually split it up into different blocks. Each would be spotlighting a genre of different Bugs Bunny cartoons. For example, you'd have 1 hour where it's the evolution of Bugs, or the musical Bugs, or Bugs in Space, Bugs with Yosemite Sam, Bugs in the Spotlight, Bugs and Daffy. You know, it would vary throughout the course of the entire weekend. 2000 was the 8th annual one, where it's, again, you have less than 48 hours of Bugs Bunny shorts, so they had to kind of expand it to repeat it several times over the course of 2 days. But this time, and again, kind of like with last year, they had spotlights of different genres of Bugs Bunny cartoons. 2001 was supposed to be the biggest one of them all, because at that point, Cartoon Network had essentially gotten back the rights to many of the Looney Tunes cartoons that Nickelodeon aired for a number of years, and also ABC, since the Bugs Bunny and Tweety show came to an end the year before. So this was supposed to be the biggest June Bugs marathon ever, because it was also going to include 12 cartoons that were essentially going to air as part of it, but then most of them became part of the infamous Censored 11, along with some ones where they were seen as politically incorrect. You know, stuff like Hiawatha's Rabbit Hunt, All That and Rabbit Stew, Any Bonds Today, What's Cooking Doc, Bugs Bunny Nips the Nips, Hair Meets Hair. You know, some of these would air later on in the Toonhead special later on that year, but this was still the biggest June Bugs marathon up to that point. And you can still find the version of that online on YouTube and also on Internet Archive. 2002 was really the last one where it was a regular thing. They did like the June Bugs A to Z, where they alphabetized all the Bugs Bunny cartoons, and they aired them in that particular order. And then that was the last time they ever did it, because right around 2003, 2004, Cartoon Network pulled the Looney Tunes shorts off the air. They would come back in some time periods, like there was 2009 when they brought them back. They brought them back again around 2011 and 12 when the Looney Tunes show was coming back on the air. And right around 2012, they brought the marathon back. It was another 2-day weekend, but instead of the old format, which consisted of almost airing all the Bugs Bunny shorts, the new format consisted of airing a mixture of the Looney Tunes shorts as well as mostly episodes of the Looney Tunes show, a practice that they did again in 2013 as well. That unfortunately was the last time that they did the June Bugs marathons, and for the people who love the classic Bugs Bunny cartoons like myself, this was a dream cartoon. An entire weekend of nothing but Bugs Bunny cartoons for 2 days straight, and we loved every single minute of it. We could care less if they repeated the cartoons several times during the day due to the less than 48-hour length of cartoons. We still watched them, and we still loved them. And really, once June Bugs left Cartoon Network, that was kind of the beginning of the end, because a lot of the old staples that they had were going away, especially around 2002. Like, they stopped doing the big game that they did around the Super Bowl. This was also the last year they stopped doing the Big Pick Weekend. When they brought it back in 2012 with a mixture of both the Looney Tunes shorts and the Looney Tunes show, I thought it was all right, and I do like the Looney Tunes show a lot. But again, really, you could never really top the awesomeness that was June Bugs in its glory years. Nothing but the old classic Looney Tunes cartoons all weekend long. It's just one of those things that's so hard to duplicate and get around the second try, and now you just have the old memories of it through YouTube. But anyone who watched June Bugs at its peak knew exactly that great feeling that I'm talking about. Like, you got a chance to watch nearly every Bugs Bunny cartoon in one weekend, and it's just like, you're just having the time of your life watching it. It's like, it's one of those old TV staples that I used to love watching back in the day. We've talked about a lot of them, like the ones I mentioned before, the Big Game, the Big Pick Weekend, the Jerry Lewis NBA Labor Day telethons, like old stuff like that. I miss those days so much, and now I can see that we probably will never get those moments again, but it's always nice to go and look back at the moments that when we had them and just feel like you saw something very special that nobody's really ever going to get a chance to see nowadays anymore. And it was just a great feeling. And since this is the first week of June, I went back, I thought about this a lot, and these are great, man. Like I said, if you can go find a lot of these old June Bugs clips that they use, but clips from those weekends online. I highly recommend checking them out because they are great nostalgic time capsule for what the time used to be like back then. So that's all I wanted to talk about this week. And if you want to hear me talk about me defending the current era of The Simpsons and also making an announcement for September, go ahead and check out the video with the link there. Check out some of the other videos we've done, and I will see you guys next week. So thanks for watching.